Today on Public Eye News, a man has been sentenced for producing fraudulent election petitions in 2022. And later, Michigan launches a member benefits program to support National Guard members and their families.
Tim Knapp will have your weather forecast for the next couple days. Later, Daniel Lennard will bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Emily Goodacre.
And I'm Emma Maratz. You're watching Public Eye News. The man at the center of an election scandal in 2022 has been sentenced to 4 years in prison. Sean Wilmoth, the man convicted, has been given a grievance from a Detroit judge if he appeals his convictions for forgery and his other crimes. Wilmoth will still have to pay a bond. Some 22 candidates hired Wilmoth to get over 15,000 signatures so they could qualify for the Republican primary ballot. He gathered many fake signatures. The petitions he created for both candidates were invalidated. The two candidates were former Detroit Police Chief James Craig and businessman Perry Johnson. Neither candidate was accused of having any knowledge about the scandal. Johnson is running for governor again this year. He has said that every person who signs his petition will receive a text message to confirm their support. And the Michigan State Medical Society has announced a plan to help bring more physicians to the state, which includes reimbursements and expanding pay. Of the 10.13 million residents in Michigan, nearly 1 in 5 are aged 65 and older. The state is experiencing a shortage of about 464 physicians, and there's a notable pay gap, with the average specialist making $404,000 a year. Michigan has been able to keep less than half of the physicians that are trained and has mentioned offering temporary licenses to physicians that are trained outside of the United States and Canada.
Michigan is rolling out new support for National Guard members and their families. The state's Department of Military and Veterans Affairs has launched a new member benefits program designed to make life a little easier for those who serve. The program keeps existing tuition assistance in place, helping pay for college or trade school, while also adding 2 new benefits. One of those is child care support, which helps cover the cost of care during training weekends and deployments. The other focuses on health care, offering help with TRICARE insurance premiums. The goal of the program is to reduce stress so service members can focus on their duties both at home and abroad. For more information and eligibility criteria, visit Michigan Members Benefit Program at michigan.gov. And Michigan is advancing its global partnerships, this time with Finland. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has signed an updated agreement with Finland to expand their partnership in clean energy, advanced technology, and defense industries. The partnership builds on an earlier deal and aims to bring together researchers, businesses, and industry leaders from both places. The focus will be on areas like battery technology, energy storage, and sustainable materials, along with the defensive-related innovation. The agreement also underlines the importance of working together to fight climate change while strengthening supply chains and economic stability. The move continues Michigan's push to stay competitive globally while working closely with key international allies. And Israel attacks an Iranian oil facilities and retaliatory strikes on oil and natural gas sites belonging to American partners in the Middle East sent energy prices surging overnight. President Trump has threatened to blow up Iran's largest natural gas field if Iran attacks a facility in Qatar again. Natalie Brand has details from the White House.
Flames and dark smoke filled the sky over Iran's South Pars oil field a day after Israel's strike on the site. President Trump denies knowing Israel would strike there. Iran retaliated by attacking Qatar's liquefied natural gas facility. The administration is warning Iran against continued strikes on Gulf energy infrastructure.
It should not, going forward, target Arab allies, Arab countries, trying to create pain, the pain that they created themselves.
At this morning's Pentagon briefing, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said the U.S. is attacking deeper into Iranian territory.
We're flying further to the east now and penetrating deeper into Iranian airspace to hunt and kill one-way attack garrisons, destroying Iran's ability to project power outside of its borders.
But Iran continues to target Gulf neighbors, including this drone strike on a Saudi Arabian refinery along the Red Sea.
I think that's the clearest signal of how Iran feels about diplomacy. It doesn't believe in talking to its neighbors. It tries to pressure its neighbors. And what I can say categorically, that's not going to work.
In response to attacks on oil infrastructure and impacts on the Strait of Hormuz, U.S. allies, including the UK, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Japan, issued a statement saying they're ready to contribute appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait. In response, Iran's foreign minister said any allies helping the U.S. break the blockade of the strait may be complicit in war crimes. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Don't go anywhere. We'll have your weather and national news after this short break.
Tune in to the heartbeat of the Upper Peninsula. At Public Radio 90, we're more than just a frequency on your dial. We're your trusted home for national public radio. Let our diverse blend of music be the soundtrack to your day. Public Radio 90, where community comes alive. Tune in and let your imagination soar. Don't miss Weekday with Hans Ahlstrom, Monday through Friday from 3 to 4.
You're listening to member-supported Public Radio 90, WNMU FM.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Tim Knapp here with your weather forecast. Let's take a look at our roof cam right now where you can see it's a little sunny, getting a little more cloudy in the evening, but hoping that snow kind of melts soon. Looking across the UP right now, we are seeing a lot of sun. That's a good thing. Up in Houghton, it's 34 degrees and sunny. Over in Ironwood, 39 degrees and sunny. In Iron Mountain, it's partly sunny, but 38 degrees. And down in Menominee, it's sunny and 35 degrees. Let's shift to the east side of our map now, where you can see in Escanaba, it's 36 degrees and sunny. In Manistee, it's 35 degrees and sunny. Breaking the trend in Sault Ste. Marie, it's 27 degrees and cloudy. And back home in Marquette, it's 33 degrees and partly sunny. Let's take a look at those current conditions right now, where, as we mentioned, it's partly sunny, winds out of the northeast at 12 miles an hour, and our barometric pressure is 30.13 inches and steady. Taking a look into tonight, it's going to be a little rainy. Low is 33 degrees, and the winds out of the south at 15 miles an hour. Our moon phase is a waxing crescent. Taking a look into tomorrow, it's going to be partly sunny with a high of 41 and a low of 30, winds out of the north at 10 miles an hour. Looking ahead into this weekend, it's going to be a little rainy on Saturday, high of 40 and a low of 30. Looking at Sunday, it's going to be cloudy, high of 32 and a low of 26. And finally, it's going to be sunny on Monday with a high of 32 and a low of 22. That's all I have for weather. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Tim, for that weather update. Hopefully, sunny skies are here to stay. Now on to national news. Lawmakers in Wisconsin are in talks to adapt gambling policies that Florida has. As March Madness starts today, sports gambling is on the rise. The offer would allow sports gambling from anywhere in the state, in agreement with the Wisconsin tribes that run the gambling sites. This deal would still need to be signed by Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers and then get approval from the American Indian tribes, which will happen after the basketball tournament season ends. Sports betting has become legal in 39 states, and if the deal goes through, Wisconsin would become the 32nd state to make online sports betting legal. And Attorney General Pam Bondi has stepped in and given temporary U.S. Attorney Brad Schimel a new title after the Wisconsin attorney was not extended for his term. Bondi has announced that Schimel is going to be the Assistant U.S. Attorney for Milwaukee and will oversee situations under the new title. First assistants are not uncommon, as states like California, Kentucky, and Nevada have first assistants running offices. Schimel has a law degree from the University of Wisconsin and won the Waukesha County District Attorney in 2014 and lost the election for his second term in 2018. One of Wisconsin Senators, Republican Ron Johnson, has stated that the decision about Schimel is a bizarre one. And the World Happiness Report is out, and finding American young people aren't smiling quite as often as they used to. Researchers say social media may be to blame. CBS Tina Kraus looks at what we might learn from the happiest nations on Earth.
The serenity seems unshakable in Finland, a country that's cracked the code on contentment for the 9th year in a row, ranking as the happiest place on Earth. The 2026 World Happiness Report finds those connections are being lost in other countries to endless hours of scrolling on social media. Researchers say life satisfaction among American teens, especially girls, has dropped sharply over the past decade. The U.S. ranks 23rd on the global happiness list, a notch higher than last year. The UK comes in 29th. The Scandinavian and Nordic countries consistently come out ahead, all making the top 6 this year. And some Americans think they know why. American author Jessica Joelle Alexander moved to the world's 3rd happiest nation, Denmark, 10 years ago. Researchers say that freedom to explore supports strong social bonds, which are linked to higher life satisfaction and could help countries climb the happiness rankings. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Don't go anywhere. Daniel, have your sports breakdown right after this.
We're here in Washington to find out what comes next.
Donald Trump won re-election, promising to reduce illegal immigration.
The Republicans will have a majority.
Will that really solve America's migrant crisis?
Not only at home, but around the world.
They're preparing for what might be coming.
Our correspondents give you the full story.
We're now hearing several explosions after an evacuation warning.
For a global perspective, join us on BBC World News America.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Dan Willard here with your sports preview. With the first round of games underway, is your bracket busted yet? First, we go to Buffalo, New York, where the Michigan State Spartans are taking on the North Dakota State Bison. The game is underway, and the Spartans are entering today at 25-7 and a 3 seed in the East region, where the Bison are 27-7 on the season and are sitting as the 14th seed. Jackson Cole is averaging 12.7 points and 9.1 rebounds per game. The Spartans are also ranked 5th in the college basketball in assists with 18.5 per game. Jeremy Fears Jr. leads the way with 9.2. Sticking in Buffalo, where tonight at 7:10 p.m., the number 1 seed in the Midwest region, the Michigan Wolverines, take on the number 16 Howard Bison. The Wolverines look to respond after losing to Purdue in the Big Ten championship game, 80-72. On the other hand, Howard is looking to keep it moving after an exciting first 4 game where they won 86-83 over UMBC. The Wolverines outscored the opponents 86.8 to 77.7. The Wolverines are 10-1 in non-conference games and also are 24-0 in games decided by 10. And wrapping it up in Marquette, where the women's lacrosse are starting conference play this weekend. Northern is coming into the matchup against Saginaw Valley Cardinals at 6-2 and making a program record 5-0 start to the season, while the Cardinals are 1-5 on the season, and it's their second season for the Cardinals having a women's lacrosse program. In the 2 matchups between these 2 teams last year, Northern won 20-1 and 20-0. A key for the team is goaltender Lauren Esposito. She leads the GLIAC in save percentage at .488 and is second in the GLIAC at 9.73 for goals against average. The game is at 5 p.m. tomorrow. The game is free for all to attend. That's all I have for sports. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Danny, for that sports breakdown.
How are you feeling that Ohio State lost?
I am so happy about it. I had TSU beating them on my bracket, so.
I agree, and I hear you have another story for us.
I do, yes. Comedian Sal Volcano is bringing his Everything's Fine tour to NMU this spring. The show is set for Thursday, April 23rd at Vanderbilt Arena, with doors opening at 6:15 and the performance starting at 7. Best known for his role on Impractical Jokers, Sal has built a strong solo career. Tickets are available now for students with general public sales beginning March 21st.
And that's all the time we have at Public Eye News today. I'm Emma Maratz.
And I'm Emily Goodacre.
We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.